And we've been talking about the church and everything, and here us three, we're all sitting, Bishop Ross, Bishop Keel, and myself, and we're sitting there. Bishop Keel had went on, said, good evening, y'all have a good night, going home, and Bishop Keel said, brother, what are you running from? And I said, well, what are you talking about? And he said, oh, we're going to be like that. And he gave me his story that he ran from the calling for 17 years. And he said, and until he could not run anymore. And he said, and when he could not run anymore, he said God had physically whooped him until he could not run. He had to make him stop right there. And I remember that night. It was on that Friday or Saturday night, and I told him, I said, well, it's been 17 years. I'm going to run that long too. Because I did not want to do this. I was just like, this is not my calling. I love working beside, my pastor, my mother at the time, and just working, close to him. I knew how to do everything in the church, and that's where I was comfortable at. I was at ease. And just over the past years, on my way to work to the prison, one night I was driving towards work, and that song came on, My Soul is Anchored in the Lord. And I will never shall forget. I left work. I never leave work 2 hours early in order to make it to the prison. Never did that. That particular night, I don't know why I did that, but that song came on, and as I was listening to the song, it was like as though the clouds had came down with the road. And it was then and there, burst into tears. I knew then, because I told God I was not going to do this unless I saw the writing on the wall. I had to see it physically. I got to see it. I need to see your hand in everything. And I knew that this was the handiwork of God then. And of course, and I said, okay, God, I'm ready. And when I made it to work at 11 o'clock that night, I said, no, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. So I ran, and I just ran from this, And, I found excuses to keep running. Excuses, and more excuses. And God has given me the opportunity. More excuses, no. And my mother said, son, is God dealing with your heart? I'm like, no, I'll find something else. And then as we come over here down through the years, amen, then as we come back here, I tore my kneecap up. And playing basketball, I had an injury all by myself, landed awkwardly, and I had to have an ACL meniscus, and they had to cut my leg open, and they had to cut my hamstring and reattach my ACL, my meniscus, bone graft, hamstring. They had to redo all of that, and I was laying there. I couldn't even go get the surgery done, and I had insurance. I told Bishop, I said, man, I don't know what's going on. Why is this happening to me now? And as from September to February rolled around, the one thing that my mother told me, she said, son, you need to pray. She said, God is things are happening to you for a reason. She said, you need to pray and seek God. She said, I can't tell you what it is. You have to seek God's face. Turn your plate over and seek God. And I still found a reason, came to a bishop, what's going on and things like that. I'm not gonna lie, I still ran from it, and was able to get the insurance. God began to make a way for me to get my knee surgery and my physical therapy. And he began to show me, if you lean on me and depend on me, I will make a way for you. I will show you that I have called you. This is your calling. This is what you need to do. Yet again, I told my second job, I gave them my 2-week notice. I told Bishop, I said, but I went back and said, we're going to wait a couple more weeks. I wanted to make sure. Just being hard-headed. That's what we do as saints. We just get hard-headed. We don't want to accept it. And then Bishop stopped me here and he said, brother, what's it going to be? I said, deacon. I knew what he was wanting. Deacon, and I said, we'll leave it at that until, hard-headed, and God began to deal with me nights when you can't go to sleep, you know, you're waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, midnight, God's dealing with your heart, you know, and your mother is saying, son, are you all right? I'm like, I'm okay. And she said, are you praying? You need to go pray. I'm like, what?